Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome to the roll call. As you can see, just myself and JK for the moment, but we thought we'd get it rolling anyway. Or before the game, there's no point letting it drag on too much. Uh, so it's not going to happen today. We know that much now. Uh, there was there was a slight chance. Obviously, we needed a big shock over in Ipswich. There, we didn't get that. So we know we can't win it today, but I don't think anyone really had their hopes had they were going to win it pinned on this date. Team is there for anybody. We've got it up on screen there, and it's also in the chat. So we've got Allison in goal, Bradley and Simicast in fullbacks, Van Dijk and Ibu in center of defense, midfield three, the usual Dom, Mac, and Grav, and then Gakpo, I assume on the left, Diaz Diaz through the middle, and well, it's obviously going to be Mo on the right. So we're assuming, JK, you would be assuming um, Gakpo off the left in that one, Diaz through the middle, which is the midfield or the starting three I wanted anyway. So which ought to just been yeah, and Nunez, Jota. I was hoping we get a change there, and we got a change, and I'm happy enough. It wasn't our best ever one, but what do you think, JK? Just told, and yeah, the would you call it big news? I don't know, news anyway, but no Chiesa in the squad
Yeah,
and Trent on the bench. Sorry, yeah, Trent is back on the bench. I suppose that's a bit of news as well, but no Chiesa, not even on the bench.
mad. It's just mad, you know. Like not even a fully fit Gapco. He gets more of a chance than a Chiesa who's been fit probably the longest in his life. You know what I mean? Weird, you know. This is what I'm saying about Arnie Slot. Sometimes I think he's giving Sabotolai another start. Like in the old days of football, that if you play for a Sunday league team, if the manager knew that you're not putting a shift in, he'll drop guy. You know, and the next guy on the bench will get a game for the next few games. But for some reason, Arnie Slot likes to stick to a formula like that really work that much sometimes, you know. Like Sabot's today has to step up because if he's getting a game in front of Chiesa, something's not right there. Bit disappointed that Chiesa's not even in the squad. Even if he was on the subs bench, bro, he wouldn't even get a game anyway. You know what I mean? He ain't been
But
used enough. Yeah.
just the drill. Quickly say hello, everyone. Bonkers, Mark A, Lee Wizkid. I know Lee. You didn't see anything. Lee went up to the King Power there
Mm-hmm.
earlier to catch the bus coming in, but apparently you didn't get to see it. I'm unlucky, man. At least you made the effort. Marion is in, Dara's in, Real is Jared, Ashash, Mark A, and yep, that's everyone. So
Everyone
thanks
bless.
everyone for being here. Yeah, hope you're well. Uh, yeah, I don't know, man. We'll find out. We're going to have to wait for the book or for the agent to come out. I'm sure first question after the game, what's up with Chiesa? Sim when we win and we win it easy or we don't. There's no dramas. That should be one of the first question.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we didn't need favors. We don't need favors for now.
No, we didn't need any
Uh,
favors. At the end of the day, I even said I prefer us beating Tottenham at home in front of the crowd and winning it instead of away at Leicester. Yeah, if it happened, it happened. You know what I mean? Fair play. But sound. And United are losing 1-0. Nice one, Trudon. Good timing.
yeah, winning it. Uh, I mean, you win it whenever you can win it. You'll take it whenever you can get it. But if you were able to choose, obviously doing it in front of the got doing it in front of the home fans is clear. That's ideal. Like, and again, but then we're thinking Tottenham, crazy Tottenham. They'll probably show
Mm-hmm.
up and score two or three.
That's the thing.
So that's then after Tottenham. Who's after Tottenham?
That's how football is.
Tottenham. 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 Tottenham.
Then it's Chelsea, is it?
Mm.
I think it's
Yeah,
Chelsea.
well, win today, beat Tottenham in front of the fans. Yeah, so let us know, people in the chat. What do you think of the lineup? Are you happy with the front three? Are you happy that Robbo isn't starting? You're happy that Dominic is starting? I'm not very happy about Dom starting. I don't think most people are now at this stage. Yeah, that is true, Trudon. They do have European football, but they're
Them and
also
Arsenal, yeah.
Postacoglu. So, no, Spurs might rest players because they've got that Europa League semi final, right?
Yeah, they got so like Chelsea, Spurs, and Arsenal all got European football
True, yeah,
while
yeah.
we play
Chelsea.
them. So job done in a weird way.
Yeah, and Arsenal play again before us, I
Yeah,
believe, right
Palace,
out there.
I think. Yeah, Wednesday
Yeah,
night.
nah, it'll be done. It'll be done soon. It'll be either next game or the game after that, surely. But
You know
yeah,
what
you
amazes
do want to
me?
win at Anfield.
At Anfield, yeah. What amazes me, where have Arsenal found this form all of a sudden? You know what I mean? Gabriel gets injured, their best defender, and they're playing better without him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's once they took. Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, where they've come from in the like Ipswich, fine, but they drop points when they need. Like it doesn't matter now because they drop points when they couldn't afford to drop points if they wanted to stay in the title race, and they did. So they
hmm
can go on all the run to form they want now. They're kind of irrelevant, aren't they? They've missed their shot.
hmm
It's kind of
Yeah,
easy turn on the style when there's no pressure. I'm not saying there was
that's
no
true.
pressure
That's
against
true.
Madrid. I just mean in the league now. There's no pressure
Yeah, in
on
the
them.
league, yeah, there's no pressure on them yet.
They're a weak side. I think they're a weak team.
Well, they
I
play like the better under Arteta. That no one's saying that he spent nearly £1 billion to do it. You know what I mean? So what are you gonna do?
yeah, you'd
Give
expect to
me
be.
£1 billion, I'll get them challenging. You know what I mean? I'll give you £1 billion, bro. You'll get them challenging. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they paid the price for it and stuff, but like, at least they're competing now compared to what they used to be like. You know. But for
Yeah,
me, Arsenal always lack that number 9. Like they haven't had a good top decent number 9 in a long time. I'm not going to include Giroud and all these type of guys. Like, but for me, their final
probably Van
piece in their
Persie.
jigsaw. Yeah,
Van
probably Van
Persie was
Persie, bro.
the last.
Yeah.
Like Aubameyang was a top player, but didn't do it for like a long, long time. Like he's a world class striker, definitely. But the last one they had, like winning, like doing really well with, I think was Van Persie. Even though he didn't win the league there, he had to go
Uh-huh.
to United to win the league, didn't he?
Yep. It was weird.
Um,
Arsenal were like a selling club to the Manchester teams. Nasri, everyone like ended up there. You know what I mean?
yeah, Arsenal will challenge again. They'll be second or third again, probably. They don't have as much work to do as we do. Sorry, it's a beautiful day for a match. Yeah, Palace are in
Um,
the cup. That's why.
Palace are in the cup, yeah, and Villa. So I think who else got a midweek game? Man City and Newcastle, is it? No, the Man City Villa. I think. Yeah, there's Villa in there play for Man City.
Mm, I don't know about that. I don't know about Trossard. Martinelli scored. They both scored today, obviously. I wouldn't have Trossard at Liverpool. Martinelli, he had a poor season last year. He's only coming back into form really
No,
recently, I
yeah.
think.
hmm
Um, so we didn't. I know You guys did a late show last night, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I
hmm
left my laptop on, and I could hear Nolante talking, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Uh-huh.
I was still half as it was like, no, no, and I look, and then I'm looking at the thing, why is fucking? And I was like, those guys are not alive, but yeah,
If you were
that was
live,
like
we did a
nearly,
late one.
yeah, very late one. How did that go?
Lee, Nalante, and Buzz. It was a good laugh, bro. It was a good chat. Good chat.
That's
Yeah,
probably
just
why.
nice.
That's probably why Lee isn't up now.
Yeah, they're probably still steeping him and Nalante. And 12th man. Less or 12th man.
Yeah. So what do you guys in the chat get your score predictions in? I'll quickly have a look for the Leicester team. Well, I can see a picture of the bus there now, Lee, going in. So did you at least see the bus? Because I've got a picture of the bus there. It looks like it's driving like right past the front. So Leicester is Hermanson, Ricardo, Weiss, Cody, Thomas, Ndidi, Samare, Elkanus, De Cordova, Mavadidi, and Vardy. Their bench has Daka, AU, Buenanote. That's about it in terms of attackers. They've got Skip and Justin. Our bench, just in case anyone can't see it, Keller, Endo, Nunez, Jones, Elliott, Jota, Robbo, Trent, and Kwanzaa. So yeah, it's with that in mind. Score predictions: Callum 4-0, Mark 2-1, Hashash 2-0, Trudon 3-0, Salah Gakpo Dom. So only Mark is gone with a goal against so far. I'd look at our team, I'd look at their team. I'd look 2-0, 2-0 maybe. But these are very poor Leicester side, but I don't think we put in I don't think we go out hell for leather in this one. I think we just try and play it as it is, so it kind of feels like it. No, I'll push it to 3 because it's Leicester. I'll go 3 now. Dara would have started Elliot. Yeah, Elliot,
Yeah.
Jones, something other than Dom, basically.
Mhm.
Start Endo with Grav, push Mac into the 10. 4-0. Salamak 2 for Diaz. Yeah, we don't really blow teams away. It's not really something we do, is it?
Very rarely.
So what's your prediction?
Me, I'm still going to stick with the 4-0, bro. I just feel Leicester are really bad. And if our midfield sort of plays to win and got the energy to win, we should smash these guys. Just control the game. Yeah, like Leicester haven't won in like donkey years, so and haven't been scoring and stuff. So you know what Liverpool are like. They like giving Christmas presents. Like Geezer ain't scored all season. Comes to Liverpool against Liverpool, they'll end up scoring. So I don't want none of that sort of crap to go on.
Yeah, this is Darcy. If we can't put 3 past the poor Leicester team after a week's rest again, I still think this week is too long. I still
Mm-hmm.
prefer like 4-5 days rest. I still think not playing for a week is just a tiny wee bit too long. Actually, gets to the point of almost a little bit of rustiness.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just, it is great for rest and recovery. I think even like Slot went home for 2 days. I think they got an Easter break. They got to spend time. I'm not sure it wasn't just Slot that went home. Like they even probably got a chance to spend some time with their families. But footballers, they do like to play. They want to like they know that rhythm of not playing like every 4 days. Kind of on average. I still think it's a reason why we might start a bit slowly in games coming up. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't start very well against Fulham. Well, we kind of did, but we're better in the first half. But
Yeah.
just a tiny little bit too long. Marion saying, if we don't win this today, I'll have a complete meltdown. Really? A complete meltdown?
It's all right, Mariam.
Okay.
We'll be okay.
It's all right. Yeah. I mean, you can get a little bit melty, but don't melt down completely. People need you. 2-0 Slot is not endearing himself to the fans. Dom starting is a joke.
Agree on both points.
At least he's dropped Jota, you know. Um,
Yeah,
I
on
would have
replace.
dropped. I would
Yeah.
have dropped both, but at least he dropped one of them. But yeah,
Yeah, but like for me, bro, this was a perfect opportunity for an Elliot. You're playing against Leicester City, not Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern. You're playing Leicester City. Harvey Elliott can't get a start. Like for me, I used to say this. Klopp played Elliott in big games. City, United, Elliott got starts, did well. Teams up well with Salah. Um, the thing is, though he's got a few chances in the last few weeks, months, or whatever, he scored 3 goals in the Champions League in a row, bang. And today is a perfect game for that. And this is what I'm saying. I agree with Dara, what he's saying there. He's not really endearing himself to the fans. One thing about Klopp, as soon as he walked through the doors, bro, he made that mental connection with the Liverpool fans. And he could do no wrong. And I think the way Slot moves, he don't really do it like that. At the end of the day, football's all about common sense. And we did a show yesterday. There's 4 of us. All 4 of us said Szoboszlai shouldn't start today. Yeah, give it Elliot. I think all of us agreed on Elliot. So it ain't just me and the guys. It's that Dara. There's a lot of people in the chat who probably agree with us that Elliot perfect game for him.
just say Lee is off. Take care, Lee. Enjoy the game, man. Catch you afterwards.
Take care, bro. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, Trudon. Mark A is saying Elliot should leave in the summer for his own career. And Trudon is pretty much, he's saying Elliot will leave in the summer. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I do think if he's going to be utilized next season the way he's been utilized this season, if I was his advisor, agent, whatever, I'd be telling him to look for a new club. Because if he's going to play 8 Premier League minutes or something like that again next year, what's the point? He's beyond just getting cup games now and shouts for that. He's beyond, like we say, like if he's good enough to play Premier League football, another year of sitting on the bench stagnating, that wouldn't be good. That would not be good for him at all. So I would, yeah, like I said, if he was told by Slot or even by all the other people around, like the people that are putting the squad together, that his minutes will be limited. There'll be people coming in or people blah blah blah, whatever way they put it to him. Then, if like I said, if I was his dad, his agent, his friends, I'd be saying, look, lad, you need to go somewhere and play another year. Just being saying super sub, not even super sub.
Mm-hmm.
Just very occasionally hasn't started a league game. 0.
Mad.
That's you can't do it. You can't be doing that, especially if if you get knocked out of the cups. That one of the cups, that's half your time gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just think for the benefit of his career, not to want to leave, but I just from a personal point of view, from if I was advising him, I'd probably say, look, man, yeah, these are perfect clubs for him. Newcastle and Villa, that level of club. I don't think he starts for Newcastle either. Not he could get into that team a lot more than he gets into our team, and I think he could get into that Villa team. I think he could get into the Villa side. He could make his way into it. No, he wouldn't walk in there and be like £50 million starting number 10, but he would play a hell of a lot more and he could play his way. Or he could go to a different club. He could go somewhere abroad and basically play most weeks, but that might not work out. But he's got some big decisions basically to make in the summer, Harvey Elliott. Some real big decisions for his own career, his own. sake. He's still young enough to go and 2 years of basic inactivity after coming off the back of an injury. Yeah, before you know it, you spend 3 years basically playing no football, only then a few bits and pieces here and there. So he's too good for that. Wherever he goes, we can argue about where he would or wouldn't play or wouldn't start, but he's too good to just not start a single league game and get barely any minutes after that. What do you think, JK? If you were Harvey Elliott this summer and the coach had a conversation that your role would be the same if you stayed?
I reckon. I think because of he supports Liverpool and he's still young, bro. 'Cause he's been on the scene for a while. We think he's like older. He's still 21, yeah.
He's 22 now, but it's
Yeah, he's gonna go quick, bro. The next few years, you know what I mean? Time flies.
yeah.
So, but for me, yeah, next season I'll be looking to go to a team where I know I can be starting games. I think when you look at people like Chiesa, Darwin, and Elliot, all three of them have got something in them to affect the game, and I don't think Arnie Slot sort of really use them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's but just putting that to one side, and he's told next season, look, the situation is going to be the same,
He's gonna
whether
send,
we
so
agree
he
with it or not.
should go. Yeah,
Yeah, if you were him, from him, like if I'm him, I'm just going, okay, okay, you know, you've hung on long enough, that kind of thing. It's like, don't. I'd be saying just it is incredibly difficult for him to leave his boy, like the club he supports. Incredibly difficult, but you've got to put your own career ahead of it then at some point. So yeah, he's another one you don't want to lose. But if you're not going to play him, it's not helping. RBI not playing games doesn't help us and doesn't help him basically. So there comes a point. Definitely comes a point. Marcy needs to go to the right club. Yeah, it's a big summer for him. It really is. If he does decide to leave, maybe even a loan move, but
yeah,
two
like a low
year.
move into these like 24, 25. If he's stepped up, then yeah, cool, bring him back. But for me, a low move will give him the opportunity to shine somewhere, and if he does that, he can come back. You know, then he will get game time regular. And I agree with what Dara's saying. He's commendable, bro. I've only seen him sort of pissed off one time. In all the years he's been with us, always connects to the fans and stuff, and he's been treated really bad, atrociously.
He's living the dream. He's living the
He's
dream.
living the dream, bro.
He's
Bro,
living
he
the
was
dream.
more living the dream under Klopp. Under Klopp, bro.
Oh well,
Even
yeah,
though like he thought he's won the lottery, bro. You know what I mean? He thought, wow, I'm playing fucking against Man City and Man United here for Jurgen Klopp, for Liverpool, bro. He thought happy days. It's on now, and I don't think he's been sort of treated sort of right by this manager. But saying that, he got us that one goal in Paris. He came on
yeah.
and just so I don't. Arnie Stock's already winding me up, bro. In that way, I don't
Oh,
really understand his
I have
mindset in
noticed.
that. Like, keep it
Yeah.
sweet, man. You got to keep every player sweet, and that's the way Klopp did it. Pep, if there's a player in the squad that don't keep it sweet, he gets rid of them. There's no ifs or buts about it. No matter how good you are, you're gone. Arnie Slot, for some reason, keeps. What does he see in training then? That's what I love to know. Like, it ain't like,
That's the thing. That's the
you
thing.
know.
We don't know.
I, yeah, I can imagine Chiesa in training scoring goals and doing all this, that, and the other. Elliot doing the same as well. But what's the like Szoboszlai? I don't want to really pick on Szoboszlai, but look at Szoboszlai's sort of games he's had in the past month. Him and Jota, I'm going to give you two examples. Him and Jota, bro. Me and you could have played in them two positions in them games. We probably did more.
Maybe 10 years ago, but in
You
my
know what I
case,
mean? But you know what I mean, though. It's just like I'm expecting more from these guys. You're playing for Liverpool, man. You're going to win the Premier League. In Man City, they always keep the same sort of bar this season. Like standard of the players will always keep the same standard, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? Where Sabot's will give you a 9 out of 10, then he'll give you a 2 out of 10.
Does he get in that City team
Sabot's no, nah, no.
this season?
Their midfield like this season's been Silva, Gundogan, um, Foden's not even been playing. Doku's probably
Mhm.
been, you know what I mean? So, but City is sort of finding form at the right time to get top four. And that sounds mad saying that, but
That's
yeah.
annoying, isn't it? That's annoying. I was hoping they'd have a proper, like a proper shit season.
Yeah.
I think I was hoping they'd finish seventh. Yeah, but nah, they'll do it. It usually happens. Like when you let the seasons play out, even like in January, February, they look really bad. But when they play out, I don't want to say the cream rises, but the uh, the best teams usually kind of just manage to get enough points towards the end or pick them up. City, yeah, I think fifth place now is the savior this year. Now that as soon as that was confirmed, they can afford one or two more mistakes maybe than they would have been able to. But that was a huge win for them yesterday against Everton.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
Mm-hmm.
yeah. When it's 0-0 after I think 82 minutes. Some people say lucky. Of course, you say lucky is, but if we do that, it's about the fact that we kept going and we didn't give up and we got two. We'd be saying proper performance. So 0-0 to win a game like that's a huge win. Everton would have been thinking we can see this because I had them picked for a draw before. I'd said like I wouldn't be surprised if Everton got at least a draw out of that game
Mm-hmm.
because strong team at home and they just couldn't quite keep it up for long enough. But City will look at that. That'll probably push them on now. If they'd lost that game, that 3 points that'll probably be enough to push them clear in qualification for the Champions League. Uh, I know Dara is saying Dom could get in that Leicester City team. Well, yeah, probably. We're still waiting for
Yeah.
Ant, by the way. Ant, I know you're out there somewhere. Hopefully, you're out there somewhere. Um, but I know you're probably at the game today for your sins. But usually, when we talk about Leicester, when we talk about Ant, he has a habit of just popping up like one of those characters uh, in that show whose name I can't remember. When people talked about it, they just popped up. So I don't know what I mean. Um, yeah, I think he's on like we have like in my mind we have even at my most optimistic way more business to be done than we will do because it will be just too much business. I'm talking like I mean like 6 or 7 changes.
Mm-hmm.
Um and some like Dom isn't really one that you need to be kind of adding into that because like I'd be selling like 5 or 6 other people or making 5 or 6 other changes, put it that way, before I'd be kind of getting to him. And it's just like a really annoying thing. But at the same time, if someone came in and offered me our money back, 70 million for Dom, I'm out because I spoke on people. It's like not all about Darwin Nunes, but after 2 years, I was saying, look, after 1 year, you give everybody one season. You give every single player one season. Say, look, first season, a new country, new language, but it's a long time a season. So then the summer, blah blah blah. Then the next year comes around. If by the end of your second season, like that to me, 2 seasons is enough. Some people don't even get that, you know. So people say, "I'll give Darwin another year after 2 years. Give him another year, blah blah blah. Give him another chance after like 18 months." So I have to be the same with Dominic Szoboszlai now. This is 2 years where he's basically been good, then just does nothing for 4 games, then looks really good. Now he did look good against Man City and games like that. He looked brilliant against them, that kind of stuff. But he does that once every, I don't know, 6, 7 games, and the rest of the time he just works hard and doesn't really impact There's very little impact in the game. So we've had 2 years of that now, and for me, 2 years basically, he's kind of the same player we bought. He's still at the same level, still at the same level of output ability as the player that we bought. That's not good enough. Slot said at the start of this season his numbers aren't good enough. He said it in that press conference. Like, Dominic doesn't. You need to score more goals and create more assists. As an attacking midfielder playing for a club like Liverpool, you have to have better numbers than. And it was laying down the gauntlet to him, laying out a challenge for him. And good players will step up to that. Weak players will shy away from it, and you don't want weak players. So you find out then. And he hasn't stepped up. For me, he looks good in games sporadically, and that's like we're speaking about it yesterday. We don't need moments players, JK, do we? We don't. There's no need for. We don't need moments, guys. We need guys that do it consistently.
Exactly. But you know what it is as well, though? A lot of inconsistent players have a lot of drama going on off the pitch as well. Affects their game. You know what I mean? To be consistent, like a Virgil van Dijk, Salah, you got to be 100% mind into the game, into what you're doing. That's why the best in the world, Salah and Darwin, because why their mindset consistent, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean that's why I suppose it's different times and all that, but Ferguson used to always, as soon as guys are like 22 or something, 23, Fergie be like basically trying to bully them into getting married. Because like he didn't give a shit. Like, he just wanted what was best for Man United. But he was always saying like these young players a lot of money. Fine, they're 18, 19, 20, 21, have a good time, great. They're boys going to be boys. Especially young boys with money in their pocket. But he said you always want players to kind of settle down and be settled off the field, but you got to just do your work on that before they join. I just don't. Yeah, after 2 years, I think like he don't. It's just he doesn't really impress me that much and that often. Great player, on his day. Great player. Really won't let you down in terms of working hard. But other than that, not really a whole lot to write home about for him. Diaz can be the same until parts of this season. Diaz for me was always the same, just good sporadically every now and again, but never really blew my mind as a player. I said, "Wow, this guy is unbelievable." It's just, I don't know. I've seen a lot of footballers, and he's just good. Basically, he's good, but he's not, top tier, top bracket. He's had a decent season for us. Jota was good a couple of years ago for a while. Jota was good when he was getting a lot of headers for us. He hasn't been that player in about 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. So if it wasn't for Mo banging goals in this year, we definitely wouldn't be winning this league. I think we spoke about it yesterday. It's shocking the output. We won a league with this output. So yeah, I don't expect us to score a ton of goals today. That's what I'm saying. But it is this Leicester side, and just how much have they given up? I suppose you get one early against a team like Leicester after 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, that kind of thing, and you go one up, they could probably collapse a bit, couldn't they? You can see that kind of reaction from them. As long as it's 0-0, they may, we're in this. But if you score early against them, the way they're letting goals in, they could collapse, really, couldn't they? JK, or
So I think, yeah. Depends on what gear we start the game. It's all about that. If we start the game in third, fourth gear, yeah, cool. We can do a job on them. I said slot allows the opposition to get a little taste of the game, what Klopp did, he didn't give them no taste, no, like, nothing in the first half, for example. Where Slot did it the other way around. First half, play it casual, see what it's all about. Second half, we'll jump on them. Yeah, it's worked all season. We won the Premier League with that sort of format. But just recently, I just questioned his in what gear does he want the players to play now? Look, we ain't got a Champions League semi-final to play. So there's no excuse really not to go full throttle. You know, finish the season off in a style that fans are happy with it.
Do you think
You
he
know,
does full throttle though?
I don't know, bro.
I don't think
This is
he
what I was saying
does
about Andy
full throttle.
Robertson. Andy Robertson is a full throttle footballer in the club. The guy didn't stop up, down, up, down, up, down. Slot comes in, boom, from fifth gear, he's on to first, second gear. It's messed. Look at what's happened to Andy Robertson's game, bro. You don't know if he's coming or going. So it's the pace of how
Yeah.
we play football now. Football for me is
Well,
a
the one
simple
thing.
game. Oh, I just want to
Sorry.
quickly say that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, like football's a simple game, bro. Don't overcomplicate it, but get the job done and don't risk. Football is a game that you shouldn't risk anything. Like getting a little kick here, there, risking a yellow card, doing it again, risking to get another yellow card, and it's a red card. You miss a game and you playing with 10 men. So don't overcomplicate football. And I think sometimes Arnie Slot, even though he's a simple man, he overcomplicates his game because he allows the opposition to come into the game. And it's as simple as that. That's how I see Slot in the last few weeks, months. Pre PSG Newcastle, he did it perfectly. He did everything right, bar maybe the PSV game. He could have probably played a better team, but hey. And all of a sudden, he just sort of kept on sticking to his principles and like the way Nalante says that he's stubborn and stuff. Being stubborn is only going to jeopardize your own sort of work. You know what I mean? He thinks also. I always say this: if we imagine today, bro, we played Endo, Elliot, and Curtis in that midfield, and he played Darwin up top, and we end up losing 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to risk the backlash from the fans. Why did you pick Endo? Why did you pick Elliot? You understand what I mean, bro? Even though us lot are all fucking calling for it.
Well, so he can't really win then, can he?
He can't win, bro. He can't win. He can't. If he
So
does
he
it,
can't win.
yeah.
So why not just pick like?
He's
Yeah,
sticking to his what he says. Like then, if we do lose, he can say, you know what, I'll pick my best team. There you go. You know what I mean? So he's like the players'
I
fault.
don't think it's that deep. I just think he's playing his best team. I mean, like, I think like some of these guys. Yeah, I don't think like Nunes or Endo. No, not for me. I'm not starting either of them.
Mhm.
Like the PSV game, he made changes in that, and I think he's made the times where he's made changes. They've lost Plymouth, PSV. You know,
Mhm.
so he's. Yeah, I know some people that get really angry about the idea that he doesn't want to use 20 players. I'm just fine to let him do what he's doing. Let him fall on his own sword, you know? This is the way he wants to do it. If it works out for him, it works out for him. Like he's winning a league. We can't get past, I'm not gonna that for me, he gets basically you get an A plus for winning a league with us. So he's got an A plus for this season. But if what he's doing isn't sustainable, then let him do it. Like I was going to say, Harvey Elliott could go out on loan for 2 years, come back, and he'd be a new manager. I don't see Slot being here for like Jurgen Klopp time. You know, I think he might be here for 3 or 4 years. Um, I don't see it being another eight-year kind of thing, or us trying to recreate another dynasty or anything like that. So his football, like I say, hasn't really inspired me. But I'm going to give him time to get at least 4 or 5 players in because I don't think we're not a very creative team. We're not very good on the eye. A lot of the time, we're very kind of one dimensional in how we attack, just from a purely not like tactical analysis, not stato type shit, just from the average bloke sitting at home watching a game of football and wanting to see a good game with good players playing good football. We play very effective football when we play well, very effective, but it's not kind of it doesn't have to be club football either. Doesn't have to be to me, it doesn't have to be that either. Um, it can be just whatever his own. Like there's guys in Italy now, right now, Inzaghi, Italiano, Bologna. Um, there's a couple of guys in Spain that are playing very attractive, very attacking styles of football. Baz is here. Nice. Okay. I'll just
sorry,
finish what
Baz.
I was saying, say hello to Baz. But yeah, I just think our football is very effective, obviously, but to me, it doesn't get me off my seat. So I'd like to see a bit more, like I said, flair in our team. Not flair for the sake of it, just a bit more of that quick 1-2s, quick passing, opening teams up with a bit of skill and a bit of good one-touch stuff, which we don't seem to have. So, but yeah, Baz, welcome. How are you, man? I saw
How's it going?
you had a late one with the boys last night.
Yeah. How's it going, guys? Big up
All
to the
good.
chat as well. Hope all is good. Yeah, all's great, man.
So, how do you feel about that lineup? I'm not sure what you were. I'm sure you went through it last night. As I said to Jake, I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. My laptop was still on, and I could hear an Alante talking. I thought I was having a nightmare or something. But yeah, it had auto played. I was watching something. I fell asleep, and it had auto played onto Year Live. So when I woke up at 3, I was like, "Why can I hear an Alante talking in the room?" But I don't know what your starting lineup was, but that one there, which is what we're going with. How do you feel about that one? You happy with that one?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. To be fair, yeah, I mean, look, we need to win in it. It's as simple as that. We need to get the League One, and I think it's a good lineup. To be fair, I mean, in terms of experimenting and having, Chiesa was quite a big topic last night, or this
Well,
morning.
there's your answer to that. He's not even in the not
Yeah,
even in the building.
this is it. He's not even on the bench, is he?
No.
But yeah, I mean, to be fair,
Trent is
it's a
back.
strong lineup.
Trent is back on the bench. That's something. Jota's been benched. But yeah, Chiesa not even on the bus.
Yeah.
I think to be honest, if you were to ask me to put my most realistic / cynical hat on, I would say he's being sold and we don't want to get him injured, basically.
Well,
That's what I'm
possibly.
thinking with Chiesa. Because there's no other reason. You can't be sick and ill and injured that much.
Yeah.
There's something going on there. Didn't work, doesn't like him, doesn't want him, whatever it is, and he's kind of making a point basically to the owners that, oh, I get it, he's here, but I ain't going to play him.
Yeah. That's what I
But,
think. I was saying that yesterday. I don't think it's his signing; it's FSG signing, but he's the one that decides who's coming on. A bit like Shevchenko when he was at Chelsea. It was Abramovich that bought him, but the manager didn't want to play him. So it's just the same as this, to be fair. But what I'm happy about at the moment is Bradley. Again, this is not any slander on Trent. I've got my views on that. However, this is the team. This is we're playing. Bradley needs to be playing games because he probably will be the right back of next season.
Is he your first choice for a right back? Are you happy with that if he is?
Well, I love Bradley.
Bradley.
I think he's a brilliant defender. My only concerns with him is will he be able to last the whole season?
Is he ready, basically? Is he ready? Do you think he's ready? Because he's quite young, but he's mature beyond his years a bit, isn't he?
Well, yeah. I mean, when you look at how old Trent was when he came in, he was ready. Bradley offers better defensive, stability, and he also runs up on the line as well with Salah. So we can use him as an overlap. Trent is a little bit more inverted. Obviously, how things are looking, I don't think Trent will be here much longer. So it'll be good to give Bradley more opportunities to play alongside Salah and Ibu, players like that, and learn his trade even more because he's now going to be, for me, he's probably going to be our first choice. So that's I'm happy to see Bradley. Gravenberch, Gravenberch has been great most of the season. It would have been nice to see perhaps Endo get a game today, just to give Gravenberch a rest. But to be fair, when you look at it, it's a strong lineup, and we want to go for the win. So if we can get the win done, maybe it'd be nice to see, like, the manager giving players a bit of more opportunities, like Elliot, for example. Kwanzaa.
You do think that will happen, don't I? Like that in my mind is, I know it means nothing when it does happen, but as soon as it's mathematically done, then you're going to see more minutes for these boys, surely.
Well, that's what you'd think. I mean, again,
Yeah.
that was another thing that was mentioned last night. I just want us to win these next 2 games, and I'm not too bothered how we win it. So long as we win it, we've won our 20, that's secure. Bring people like little Rio, young Rio, and players like that to get experience, in the Premier League, because they've not had that opportunity in the Premier League, have they? They've come on in cup matches. Premier
If they're
League is
performing in the under 20, if they're performing and the report cards are good, get them on a bench. Yeah, if their attitudes are right, and you hear all the good stuff from the under 23s, he's training hard, he's working hard, top attitude, and again playing well, then yeah, definitely a Rio on the bench and Neoni on the bench for one of the dead rubber games that it would be. But I don't think even then we're going to see a Chiesa. That's what I'm thinking. I think even in that scenario, I don't think we're going to see a Chiesa.
No.
Elliot still, Endo, neither, like, they haven't started much. So, but do you think he'll bring on Trent today? Which I think he kind of would. But do you think he'll bring Trent on today to give him a kind of a soft landing? Because the away fans are kind of a lot more better base. The home fans, the home crowds. Like if he was to come on away, he's not going to get maybe the boos, maybe that he might have gotten a few boos. I'm not expecting many boos, but they get a better reception from the away fans today.
Do you know what? I would imagine so, but it really depends on how fit he is. You know what I mean? Like, he's on the bench, so he must be fit enough. But I really don't know. It really depends on the game as well. You see, I do think he will come on at some point today. It will be quiet, and I think he will manage him back into the team, for as long as he's here, sort of thing. And I think even, when we play at Anfield next, I don't even think he plays. I think he'll come on again off the bench, or maybe he might actually start. That's the thing, just to kind of like, if he comes off the bench, then there's going to be more of a reaction. Whereas if he's on the starting 11, then yeah, I think this is the first time he's going to be in the squad since all these things have been going on about him. So
pretty much.
So I do have a feeling he probably will come on later on today, and because it's against Leicester, the game's already won, hopefully in that time. And yeah, like you said, for the soft landing sort of thing, I think that's probably what may happen. But if he's not fully fit, then just to keep him on the bench. There's Kwanzaa there.
JK, what kind of general reaction, and people in chat as well, what kind of reaction do you think Trent is going to get? Overwhelmingly positive, or the fact he's been out for so long now feels like a long time because of like gaps in between matches and stuff. He hasn't missed a ton of games, but he's missed, it feels like he hasn't played in about 2 months. And in that 2 months, all but kind of, again, hasn't been officially signed. See, nothing's actually officially been done. But what kind of reaction are you expecting for?
I think it'd be cool if it's the away fans, because I think away fans are a little bit more. They don't really want to embarrass their own players.
They're proper
away grounds. Yeah. So hence why if he comes on today, it'll be cool. We'll get a round of applause, I reckon.
Oh yeah, no, I know we don't like Leicester fans apart from Ant. But we all know like the Leicester fans will start booing him when he comes on just to try and create because
Yeah.
that's their kind of sense of humor. Is
Yeah.
to boo it and make it they'll be like, we'll boo him and it'll sound on TV like all the Liverpool fans are booing him. That's just their way of thinking. I know it is.
Mhm.
So our fans, like you said, they'll have to remain proper as far as I'm concerned. I'd say, hey, we ain't going to boo. Look, whatever's happened, we'll do it at our own house, but not here, not in front of, we're not going to see Leicester fans, watch us booing one of our own players like that. That's what I'm assuming will happen because it's not like he hasn't, like I said, he hasn't done anything or said anything other than leave.
Mhm.
Like he hasn't come out and said shit in the papers. He hasn't come out and gone, "Oh, I really want to leave and they won't let me go." He hasn't been a dick in the press. It's just been all super quiet. So I don't think it's anything other than the fact that he's leaving is what people are going to be pissed off about. But Dara is saying that you're actually based on how he plays, which is poor before he got injured. Yeah, I just think he's been a slightly neutered version of Trent all season.
Can I add something,
Go
Brian,
ahead,
on
man. Go ahead, yeah.
what you've said on the Trent thing? I think on social media, we're talking about fans from all over the world that have access to social media to say what they've got to say about Trent. Some are good, some are bad, some are horrendous. Yeah. And I think when he does play at Anfield, because I think he will get that opportunity because despite what people think about him, he's still a legend. He's still won all the trophies at Liverpool. He's definitely a legend. However, yeah, people may question, his exit plan, how he's left or how he's leaving, if it is actually going to go. He can only do what he's done, and he's done it absolutely impeccably well. And what I mean by that is he's not said nothing. He's not said nothing. It's social media and people, creating rumors. And when I've been to Anfield, I mean, I've not been for a little while, but whenever I've gone to Anfield over the years, our fans always support our players, no matter what they go through. And our fans at Anfield in particular, they will support Trent. He's wearing that shirt. He's a local lad still. That doesn't change. And if he plays well and he scores a goal, they're not going to care. They're not going to care. They're not going to make time hard for him. If anything, it will be more opposition fans that will probably like jeer him and distract him because he's a great player. So I don't think him when he goes back to Anfield or plays at Anfield again, unless he's playing in another team's jersey, he'll have any issues. So yeah, I mean, just social media is a very, very, very dangerous thing for players, and they say they don't really pay attention, but of course, they do. And I think the damage is mostly on social media. But I think on match day and with the fans that actually are paying for that, paying for that experience to watch people like him, Trent, Salah, and Van Dijk, etc., they're not going to do it.
Traveling, travel expenses, though, like just to go to watch a match at Anfield, it's costing you it's going to cost you a couple of $100 before you even blink, really.
Yeah.
If you don't live around the corner. So those people, like you say, it's free to go on Twitter, and but the people, like you say, that get up, make the journey, pay money, sing the songs, those are the people that, again, like Jared is saying there, people say Nunez gets enormous support at Anfield.
Exactly.
Huge amount of support. Like you said, no matter what they're going through. Like I can't remember. Like I genuinely can't remember the last time I heard a Liverpool player getting booed by Anfield fans.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to remember one. Probably Juve, maybe, or something. I don't know, but I'm really struggling to remember. You see it at other grounds all the time.
Yeah. I don't think Trent's gonna have that issue. I think maybe you might get a few that will, you're always gonna get idiots. That's the thing. You can't stop idiots. There's gonna be one or two idiots in the ground whenever. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm not happy the way, I'm not happy with the rumors. But again, they are all rumors. I don't want him to go because he's one of our great players. You know what I mean? But, if there are, like I said, he's kept quiet throughout this whole thing. And if he goes, good luck to him. Good luck to him. You know what I mean? I wish him well over there. But when we play against him, I hope we smash him. It's as simple as that. But that's a football thing.
Yeah.
I've always said I'm a Liverpool fan, not a player fan. And that, there's going to be. Trent was brilliant for us. He moves on. Conor Bradley will come in, or whoever comes in. He may one day want to go. Another player will come in, and it goes on and on and on. And it's the crest that I love, not necessarily just the players.
I think Jared's got a spot on. I think you're bang on as well, basically, because it's great. Sometimes I don't live in England. I can't. It's so. To me, it's massively important. Like, because we talk a lot of shite. Because we're on for hours. We're on all these shows. We end up talking a lot of shite. But when people are actually there or at the ground, they know what the real atmosphere is like. They can give you a different viewpoint on stuff. Because, like I said, it's very easy to just go online and put your opinion out there. But I think it makes a difference when people are actually there. But like Jared is saying, I don't think you get booed, but get a subdued reaction. Yeah, like they're not going to be singing his name to the rafters,
Of course.
kind of thing.
100%.
But it would, yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. But look, there's a minute left to go before the match starts, so let everyone leave. We'll let everyone head off.
Good. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, we'll be back. Hopefully, 12th man will be here. Everyone's favorite host. I know he wasn't here today, but for this, we'll do the match reaction probably about 10 minutes after the final whistle. So Baz, hopefully you're back around for that. But yeah,
It'll be the same link, I'm assuming, yeah? Or
no, I have to set up another one. If 12 isn't available, it's not set up yet. I'll have to set it up. I'll send a link to Jake.
okay, yeah,
It'll be
no
a
problem.
second.
Or JK, you can send my number, whatever's clever.
Okay, so
Cool.
it'll be.
All right, everyone, it's kickoff now, I believe. So I'm going to get loaded up and watch
Enjoy
again.
the game.
Yeah.
Peace.
See you later.
Wonderful.
Take care.
All right, see you later, guys.